Hello everyone, good morning. So can anyone confirm audible or not? Can you hear me? Let me open our workspace folder. This is ours. Okay, let's go to the content. If you observe this content, okay, these things we completed. The next one is like why we go for CSS, selectors, media queries, positions, box model. This part we completed. Flux, grid, and bootstrap, some other responsive design. In our React only we are going to discuss. Okay. In the React, I want to create a registration form. That registration form I want to create by using Bootstrap. That time we are going to discuss about how many resolutions it supports, all this stuff. Okay. In the grid and flux also. These are like two CSS properties, display flux and display grid. Okay, I want to create the templates by using React. Okay, that time we are going to discuss. Okay. All agree with me so far? Okay, shall we go with the next level discussion? Let's start. Okay, very simple. I want to create one React. Okay, hello world program. That's it. More than that, nothing. To write that hello world program, you need some JavaScript knowledge. Okay, what things are required? You should know how to create the variables. Okay, you should know what is function, how you can create the functions. All this stuff about the variables and functions. Okay, you should know. Okay, shall we start the variables and functions concept in JavaScript? Let's start. So now onwards, as I said, to write the JavaScript program or you want to execute some JavaScript code snippet, don't create a .js file. Okay, write the code in the .js file and then execute the .js file. Don't do like that. Don't do like that. Okay, directly now onwards, open your browser, open developer console window. Inside that one console, one tab is there. That tab you can use to write or practice your JavaScript code or JavaScript programs. Okay, no need to create any environment setup. Nothing is required. Open your browser, Okay, open your browser. Okay, no URL, nothing is required. Empty, you can open. Next, right click on this one, inspect it. Now the developer console window opened. Developer console window, if you need more space, you can dock left side like this, or you can dock right side, or you can dock outside. This is outside. If you want to dock it left side, left side. Okay, if you want some more space, yes, you can dock like this. Here you have multiple tabs are there: elements tab, console tab, source tab, network tab, application tab. We discussed all these. Okay, now I want to use the console tab to write our JavaScript code. Okay, create the variables, create the functions, execute any JavaScript related code. Okay, I want to write here, I want to execute it now onwards. I don't want to write, okay, one more JavaScript file. Okay, place your code, run it. Okay, I don't want to write it. I want to use this. Is simple for us to practice instantly. Okay, now see this much stuff is there, right? Okay, something is there, existed. Okay, now I want to clear the console first. This is my console. I opened the console. Okay, here, see, there has one button is there. See, okay, there is a circle is there, right? With the line, with cross line. Now see this one. If you put the cursor, you can see one tooltip. What is that? Clear console. So clear it. Now nothing is there in my console. Nothing is there in my console. Why we go for console? We already discussed. Elements tab contains what? Whatever the content is visible to the end user, that content related code. In the left side you can see, right side you have the right side or some other section you have the CSS. Like that console purpose is what? If you want to log some console messages while executing your application at runtime, if you want to log some messages, then you can use it console. Then you can use that console to log the messages. The next thing is, okay, to write or execute your JavaScript code. To execute your JavaScript code, you can use the console. Now, I'm not running any application. I want to use this console for the second purpose. Execute my JavaScript code. Execute my JavaScript code. Okay, let's write some JavaScript code. Just write some JavaScript code. First thing is like, I want to discuss like what is variable. Any programming language, it is common, variables and functions, not only JavaScript. Okay, it is common for Java, .NET. Syntax may be different. The theme and everything is like same. The purpose is like same. Okay, what is variable? What is variable? Why we go for variables? What is function? Why we go for functions? Okay, how we can create the variable? How we can create the functions? This stuff I want to discuss. Very simple. Okay, in your program, okay, I have some data. Data is nothing but facts. Facts is nothing but alphabets, numbers, mixing, whatever it is. I have some data. I want to just store the data for future purpose. I have some data. My data is like 100. It's a data. My data is like a Sachin. It's data. Some characters, set of characters. Okay, I have okay 10, 20, 3. Okay, 10, 20, 3. It is like a data. Okay, this is also the data one. Different formats data is there. We'll discuss this one later. I have some data 100. I want to store that data for future purpose. I want to store the data for future purpose. Then how we can store the data? How we can store the data in your programming languages, any programming language, not only for okay JavaScript, okay, not only for Java, okay, for all programming languages, how we can store the data, how we can hold some data for future purpose means we can hold the data by using variables. Variables are used for to represent the data, to hold some data for future purpose. Okay, so my question is, I have the data, how we can hold this data by using JavaScript, by creating a variable. So how we can create a variable in JavaScript? How we can create a variable in JavaScript? Okay, so how we can create a variable? First of all, why we go for JavaScript? Anybody ask? Okay, the JavaScript code which is running inside the browser to perform some operations on my content, right? To perform some operations on my content. For example, you can take here. Okay, first attributes.html is there. Now see here. Are you performing any operations here? No, it's a static normal HTML. On my content, if you not perform any operation, no JavaScript, nothing is required. Okay, let's take one more example. Now in the bootstrap, accordion is there. Now see, this is my content. Are you performing some operation or not? See this, you are performing some operation. On my content, if you want to perform some operation, then you need to write some script or not. Then you need to write some code. Okay, that particular action you need to handle it. Okay, to handle that action, you need some script. Okay, that script how we can write? By using JavaScript, which is running inside the browser to perform some actions on my content. Where is my content? Inside the browser only. So the difference you understood, right? This page and this page. Now this page, no action, nothing. It's a static one. No JavaScript, nothing is required. On my content, if you want to perform some operations, if I click on the button, I want to perform some operation. If I click on the Axis Bank logo, I want to perform some operation. Then that time, on my content, if you want to perform some operation, you need some scripting language. Okay, which scripting language? Okay, the content which is running inside the browser to handle that action. Okay, the script which is running inside the browser, that script only it is going to work. Okay, which script is going to run inside the browser? JavaScript is going to run inside the browser. So to perform these actions, you need the JavaScript code or not. So why we go for JavaScript? Very simple. To perform some actions on my content, which is running inside the browser. Okay, to handle some actions on my content. Okay, see, you handle the clicker. It is an action. To handle some actions on my content, which is running inside the browser, then you need a JavaScript or not. Got my point? Yes or no? Agreed with me? Okay, okay then. Let me open the console. Where is my console? Inspect it. Yes, this is my console. Now, okay, how we can create the variable? Why we go for variables? In JavaScript, why we go for variables? To hold some data. Okay, which data? 100 I want to hold it. This data I want to hold it. Okay, then how we can create a variable in JavaScript? Very simple thing. In JavaScript, if you want to create a variable, okay, variable name, and the data what you want to store in that variable. Okay, so I can say the initial data, variable name and the initial data. Variable name and initial data, two inputs are required. One input already I have. What is my input? Initial data. What is my data? What is my data? 100 is my data. What is my variable name? You decide as a developer. This 100 represents some amount. Then that time you can put like amount is my variable name. This 100 is represents one student mark. One of the student, one subject marks. Then the time you want me to keep like amount equals to 100. You want me to keep the subject marks assigned to amount. Is it the recommended naming convention? No, right? Okay, you know, as a developer, 100 is like which kind of value? It is like a amount, or it is like a marks, or it is like a something. Okay, based on that one, you have to decide the name. So this is like one student marks. Okay, this number, this data is related to one student marks. Then the time, can you hold that by using marks? Okay, this name you decide as a developer. Okay, but that name should represent the data what he hold. Got my point? So this is my variable name and this is my initial data or not. Now can you come here? Okay, can I write what is my variable name? Amount. What is my value? Okay, initial value is what? 100 or not. Done. Now this amount, wherever you want, how many times you want, you can use it or not. You can use it or not. Agreed with me? Yes or no? This is the way you can create a variable in JavaScript. Got my point? Okay, now how to use the console? See, the amount, to my amount, I got like bonus like more 100. Now the total amount is 200 or not. Like that, you can perform any kind of operations on my amount variable or not. Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay, once my console filled with my statements, I want to clear it. So how we can clear? Second, say this. This is the one, clear console. Can I click on this one? Yes, clear. Okay, now you can see the amount. Amount is there or not there? 100 is there. If you clear also, whatever the statements you executed, those statements still remains or not? All are agreed? Still remains or not? Yes or no? Come on. Okay, I cleared this console. Now my amount is there or not there? Don't think like it is not there. Okay, whatever the statements executed, still there. But when these statements are going to reset, you know, okay, whenever you refresh the page, see, I am refreshing the page. Just refresh it. Okay, if you refresh the page, okay, clear the console. Now, can I access the amount? AMOUNT. Now, can I click on enter? See that? My previous statement there or not there? My previous statement is there or not there? If I refresh the page, whatever the statements you executed in the past in the console, those got reset or not? Agreed with me? Come on. Yes or no? Okay, now I want the amount. Then how we can? The previous statements, if you want, don't write amount equals to 100. Click on the up arrow, down arrow in your keyboard. See, I'm clicking on the up arrow. See, whatever the previous statements are there, all the statements are coming here. So the previous statement is this one. I want this. So can I execute it? How we can execute one statement in the console? You know, just click on enter. Just click on enter. Now my variable created. Now you can use that variable wherever you want. Where is this variable? Wherever you want, how many times you want. Okay, how many times you want, you can use it. Now you can clear. Okay, amount is there or not there? Amount is there or not there? Yes, if you clear, no issues. Now if I refresh the page, amount is there or not there? If I refresh, amount is there or not there? amount not there. So now see, error messages are very, very important. Okay, now if you see this error message, what you can understand about this error message? About this error message, what you can understand? This is the error message. What it means? Okay, in your application, if you see this error message, okay, you need to understand what fix is required for this particular error message. At what, in which case you can get this kind of error messages is not defined. When you can get this kind of error messages means very simple. I am trying to access one variable. I am trying to access one variable. That variable is not defined before. Okay, that variable is not defined at any time, anywhere. Then that time you can get is defined error or not. Okay, is not defined error or not. Yes or no? In this case, amount is not defined. For example, if I put like LOC is defined or not defined? Not defined. So LOC is not defined. Okay, anywhere if you see this error, it means you are trying to access one variable or one member. You are trying to access, that member is not defined. Still you are accessing. That type of error you can get in that case. Got my point? Okay, in your application multiple times you can get this error. Okay, then what you can understand by seeing this one? Yeah, you are using this variable, but this variable is not defined. Can you define it? Okay, now how we can fix this error? This error I want to fix it. How we can fix it? Come on, how we can fix it? You have to define the variable. So how we can define the variable? Define the member. How we can define? LOC. Okay, can I assign with some data? Can I assign with some data? Come on, assign with some data. Okay, yes, Mumbai. Okay, in the past, the amount 100. Now I assigned location is like Mumbai. Okay, now can I click on enter? Now see my LOC is defined or not defined? LOC is defined or not defined? Yes, LOC is defined. Okay, so there is no error. Still amount is defined or not defined? Still amount is defined or not defined? Not defined. Not defined. Now I'm going to put like, okay, like this. Okay, is it defined or not defined? Okay, just I put some text. Is it defined or not defined? Is it defined or not defined by you? No, right? It's not defined by you. Now, is it gives an error? Is it gives an error? You not defined, still you are not get any error. That means what? Some other person defined, right? You not defined. At the same time, you not get the error. That means what? That means what? Some other person defined that variable or not. Who is that person other than you? My JavaScript people defined. So the variables which are defined by the JavaScript people, can I say those members are like what? Predefined members or predefined variables? Can I say like that? Yes or no? Come on. Come on. See the difference between amount and local storage. Amount you not define. Okay. At the same time, JavaScript people also not defined. That's the reason it gives me an error. Local storage you not define, still you not get the error. That means what? Some other person defined. Who is that guy? Okay, who is that guy? JavaScript people defined or not? That means my JavaScript people defined some members. Those members, what they can say? User defined a predefined a. You defined a, already JavaScript people defined a. JavaScript people defined, those are like what? Predefined members or not. There are multiple predefined members are there. Okay, those members directly you can access it. Okay, how we can see that members I will tell later. Got my point? Agreed with me how to create the variables? Come on, come on. Okay, okay then. Now come here in Java.NET. If you want to create a variable, how we can create the variable? This is a JS, it is a Java. How we can create a variable? Amount equals to 100. Is it valid? Is it valid? In Java, is it valid? In .NET, is it valid? No, right? Okay, in Java, they requires what? Data type also or not? They requires data type also. In Java, what is the syntax? Okay, data type, variable name, okay, initial value, initial value. Okay, this is my syntax in java.net or not. What is this data type? Okay, variable name and initial value. I know variable name is like amount, initial value is like 100. What is the data type? My data type which represents the data which is held by the variable. The type of the data which is held by the variable, okay, represents by using what? Data type or not. In Java, okay, which data type is suitable here? My amount is a variable which holds 100. It is an integer, so that my data type is like what? Integer or not. Got my point? Agreed with me? Yes or no? Now in Java or .NET, how this code internally it's going to work, you know? Internally, how it is going to work, you know? Okay, now this is my code in Java. In Java, this is my code. Okay, whenever it is executed, based on the data type, okay, see, variables are used for what? To hold the data which is used in future, right? So this data stores somewhere. If you want to store the data, where I can store, some space is required or not. So in Java, based on this particular data type, they allocate some space to you. Okay, how much space, you know, in Java for integer, how much space they allocate? How much space they allocate? Okay, they allocate like 4 bytes memory. They allocates like 4 bytes. Is a limited space or unlimited space? 4 bytes means limited or unlimited? Limited or unlimited? I said like 4 bytes. 4 is nothing but limited number only, right? Limited space. If it is like a limited space assigned, here you can store limited data or unlimited data. You can store limited data or unlimited data. You can store limited data or unlimited data. Limited data only, right? This much space means this much data only we can store it. How we can store unlimited data? No, right? No, right? So in Java, whenever you create a variable based on the data type, first they allocate the space, and then whatever the data you assigned, that data stored in that particular space or not. Okay, that space is pointing with what? Whatever the variable is there, that space is pointing with the variable or not. This is the thing is happened in Java. But come to JavaScript. Okay, the same thing for .NET also. Come to JavaScript. How we can create a variable? How we can create a variable? Do we have any data type? Is it a mandatory like Java? No. My amount equals to this one. Okay. In JavaScript, how the memory got allocated, you know? In JavaScript, first memory not allocated like Java. See, based on the data type, first memory allocated and then it is going to place the content. But in JavaScript, first memory not allocated. Based on this content, okay, what is my content? 100 is my content. 100 is my value. For this particular 100, how much memory is required? Dynamically, it is going to allocate like this. For example, my value is, okay, this much big number is there. Okay, for this particular number, how much memory is required? Dynamically, it is going to allocate the memory. Dynamically, how much is required? This much memory is required. Dynamically, it is going to allocate the memory in JavaScript. That's the reason JavaScript is like dynamically typed programming language. Okay, same like that. One more language also there. What is that? Python. What is that? Python also. Which kind of language? Python also there is no data type, nothing. Dynamically, how much space is required for that variable? That much space it is going to allocate. That much space it is going to allocate. Got my point? Okay, so my JavaScript and Python is like a dynamically typed programming languages. See, if you observe here, command, okay, see the Python, okay, number or amount equals to amount equals to this much big number, you can put it. Now print amount. It's printed or not printed? It's printed or not printed? It's printed or not printed? Okay, here the amount of space allocated for this particular amount, when the space allocated, okay, not first, dynamically how much is required, that much space is going to allocate. Same thing in JavaScript also. Okay, my amount equals this much big number is there. See my amount working or not? The variable name mismatch. But the same thing in Java. Okay, in Java, if you do the same thing, it gives me an error. What is that error? Okay, incompatible. Okay, it's like a integer number is like too large. Like that, you may get the error. Why? Because Java is not a dynamically typed programming language. Okay, so my JavaScript and Python, leave it for now. My JavaScript is like what? Which kind of language? It's a dynamically typed programming language or not? It's a dynamically typed programming language or not? It's a dynamically typed programming language or not? Yes or no? Any questions, anyone? So far good. Okay. Okay then. Any questions? So you can ask a question here. In Java, there is a type for the variable like this. In JavaScript, do we have a type? Yes, we have the type, but it is not behaving like Java. Okay, it is behaving like what you know. Okay, just you can take like var. Okay, the next one is like you can take like let. The next one is like constant. These three we are going to use like a data types. Like Java, it is not represents your data. Okay, what my variable is holding the data. By seeing this one, I can say. Okay, by seeing this one, I can tell. But in JavaScript, the variables having the data types like var, let, constant, these are not representing the data. My var, let, constant data types tells like the behavior of a variable. What is the behavior? We'll discuss later. Okay, here the data type is like a int. Int tells like what? It represents the data what my variable hold. Okay, which type of data it's going to hold? Number data. But here var amount 100, my var is not represent okay the data which is holded by the variable. Okay, my var represents or my let represents or my constant represents the behavior of a variable. Okay, where if I declare amount as a var, okay, how the behavior is looks like. If I declare like a let, how the behavior is looks like. If the declare like constant, how the behavior is looks like. It tells the behavior. Got my point? Yes or no? Agreed with me? Come on. Okay, this is the way we can declare the variables. Okay, you can get the notes. You can get the notes from uijavakit.com. Otherwise, you can go to the website, okay, Google, and you can find it. Okay. How to create the variables? Just search in Google, then that time you can get the same notes only. So for good? Okay, then the next one. So far, you created a variable holding with which data? Okay, number data. Like this, different data formats. Tell me what you know. Different data formats. For example, I want to store Sachin. I want to store Sachin. I want to store Sachin. Okay, how we can? How we can? Okay, name equals to Sachin. Okay, see this? The text which is enclosed with double quotes. Okay, the text which is enclosed with single quotes, whatever it is. Okay, we can treat like a string in JavaScript. But double quotes or single quote, but not like a combination of single and double. It is like invalid. Okay, if you create a variable with some string data, then that time you can assign the data, string data to the variable, okay, with single quote or double quote. Got my point? Okay, it is a number data, it is a string kind of data. Okay, no double, nothing. Okay, here double, long, all this stuff. Okay, how we can represent by using data type, right? By using data type. But here my amount equals to 10.5. Amount equals 10.5. There is no data type, nothing. Whatever you assign the data, that is hold with variable. That variable data may be boolean, double, long, big number, whatever it is, you can assign to the variable. There is no type, nothing here. Okay, now I want to tell one student pass or fail. Is he pass? Okay, true or false? Say this. Is he pass? Okay, false. Like this, you can assign number data, you can assign string data, you can assign a boolean value or not. Okay, the next one is like, okay, just remember this one. Okay, how we can work with this, I will tell later. The next one is like, I have 3 players. Okay, one player, if you want to represent, you represent like this. One player, if you represent like this. If you have 3 players, how we can represent the 3 players? If you have 3 players, how we can represent the 3 players? Okay, multiple players, if you want to represent, then that time you can go with an array. So my players equals to an array representation. Okay, open brace and closing square bracket. Here you can mention, okay, players, so that it is a string. So enclosed with double or single also. Enclosed with double or single also. Now done. My players ready or not? If you want to represent multiple elements in a single variable, then you can go with an array. Now, I want to tell something about Sachin. I want to tell something about only one player, Sachin. Then how? I want to tell something about Sachin only. So, okay, about Sachin. It is a object format. Okay, my name equals to Sachin and my runs equals to 20,000 and my location equals to Mumbai. Okay, like this. What is this object? What is an array? What is string methods? Everything we'll discuss. Okay, for now, just remember what kind of data formats are there in JavaScript. Now, see my Sachin object. This data tells something about your Sachin or not. Agree with me? Yes or no? Okay, my data may be a number like this. My data may be a string like this. My data may be whole. Okay, my variable may be whole, a boolean value. May be whole, an array data. May be whole, an object data. These are the most different, okay, most data formats or not. Frequently used data formats or not. Agreed? Come on. Okay, then now we have the data type. I said. So with the data type, can I create a variable? Okay, here my JavaScript data types are like var let constants, not representing the data what my variable hold at. It represents the behavior. It tells the behavior of a variable. What is the behavior? That is our next level discussion. So I want to define the variable with data types. Okay, how we can define the variable means, come on, var my amount equals to 100. Yes, say this amount. Okay, where name equals to what? Sachin. Yes, my name is what? Sachin or not? Yes or no? Now, where my location, here what is missing? What missed? Initial value missed or not? Okay, if there is no initial value, nothing, what is my default value for the variable? Okay, previous LOC is there, so that can I refresh the page, whatever the code is there, that one is reset. Now the previous code you can execute. Yes. What is my LOC? What is my LOC? Is my data assigned or not assigned? There is no data, nothing is assigned. If there is nothing assigned, the default value for the variable in JavaScript, what you know? Undefined. Okay, the default value for the variable in JavaScript is what? Undefined. Got my point? Okay, so My JavaScript is like a scripting language which is running inside the browser. It's like a dynamically typed programming language. Why? Because it is dynamically allocate the memory for the variables. Okay, you can define the variable in JavaScript is like variable name and initial value. You can define the variable with data type also, like var, let, constant. The data types which are not represents the data what my variable hold at. It represents the behavior of a variable. Yes or no? It represents, it tells something about the behavior of a variable or not. Agree with me? Come on. Okay. Okay, then. Now here, what is my output? What is my output? Just I refreshed my page. What is my output? Okay. Is my players defined by you somewhere? Is my players defined by you somewhere? No, right? Not defined. Not defined. You are accessing. You not defined. You are accessing. Then the time you can get the errors is like players is not defined or not. Okay, now how many ways you can fix this error? I don't want this error again if I run the players. How many ways we can fix it? How many ways we can fix it? One fix is like players equals to this one. Like this you can fix it. Yes. This is one fix. Okay, the next one is what? The next one is what? With some data. The next one is what? The next one is what? Where players also, like this also you can fix it or not. Now the players are like what? The players are like what? Undefined. Undefined. So let me refresh it. Previous code I don't want. Okay, this is my players. Players is undefined. Where my players, now my players is not gives any error. It is like undefined or not. Okay, one more fix is what? Okay, either you can write like this, or either you can write like this, or either with value also you can write it or not. These many fixes are there for this particular error or not. Agree with me? Yes or no? All are okay? Okay then. Okay, this is the way you can create the variables in JavaScript. The next one. What about functions? What is function? Why we go for functions? In JavaScript, how we can create a function? That's my question. What is the syntax? First of all, why we go for function? Very simple. Very simple. If you want to handle some functionality, any programming language you can take it. The definition is same. Okay, if you want to handle some functionality, that functionality once you handle, that can be used wherever you want, how many times you want. Yes or no? Okay, one person is there. Okay, person one. Person one. He has two numbers. Number one is 10, where number two is like 20. Number two is like 20. You want to find the sum. How we can find the sum? Number one plus number two. Okay, finally that sum I want to print it. Done. One more person is there. He also has same numbers. Okay, one more person also there. He also has the same numbers to find the sum. Okay, is it the recommended way of writing the code? By seeing this one, what you can understand? See, this much code is like a duplicate code or not? You written like a duplicate code or not? Yes or no? Writing the duplicate code in any programming language, it's not a recommended one. Then in this case, if you observe, three persons want, okay, find the sum of 10, 20 or not. Three persons requires that particular functionality. If multiple people requires one functionality, then that time instead of writing the code multiple times, can I write that particular functionality by using one function? Can I use, okay, can I ask those three people to use that particular function? Can I write like that? Wherever the functionality is like repeatedly, if you want to use, write one time by using functions, you can use that functionality wherever you want, how many times you want. So I don't want to write this functionality multiple times. I want to handle this functionality with one function. So how we can handle that functionality with one function in JavaScript? Very simple. In JavaScript, if you want to create a function by using, okay, a function keyword, you can create function keyword. after that function name, after that function representation, after that function body, here block of statements. How many statements you want? That many statements you can create. How many statements you want? That many. Got my point? Yes or no? The syntax. Agreed with me? Okay. Now tell me how we can. I want to handle the functionality. Which functionality? This functionality I want to handle it. So the same functionality I want to write. 1 second. Yeah, I'm back. So this functionality I want to handle. So just you can write this functionality here. Okay. So my function ready now with some functionality. So who want that functionality? Just you can ask them to utilize. We can use it. So how we can use that function? Writing a function means it's nothing but just you written some okay piece of code represents some functionality. Just I want to use that functionality. Okay, how we can use that functionality means by calling the function. If you want to call the function, see the function name with the call. This is my function call. This is my function call. So whenever you call that function, whatever the statements are there, those statements got executed. Those statements got executed. Agreed with me? Go on. Okay, so let's write that function. Go to console. Okay, whatever the previous statements are there, just reset it. right? Okay, you can write the function. Okay, function name, open brace and closing brace. See here, in between I want to write some statements, right? Don't click on the enter. Okay, if you want to go to the next line, still I want to write some statements, then the time, if you want to go to the next line, shift to enter in the console. Okay, if you click on enter means, okay, my statements got, okay, my statements, whatever you written, that is completed and it's going to execute in the middle itself. If you think like, okay, we have some statements to write, still I want to go to the next line, okay, then you can go with the shift enter. It is not execute, it is go to the next line. So I clicked on the shift enter, so it comes to the next line. In between I want to write some code. What code? Where number 1 equals to 10, I want to go to the next line. How? Shift to enter. Where n2 equals to 20, I want to go to the next line. Shift to enter. Okay, the next, where, okay, sum equals to n1 plus n2, shift to enter. Now here console.log of sum. Okay, now there is no statements, nothing. I want to execute this block of statements. Then what you have to do? Don't go with shift enter. Nothing is required now. I don't want to write anything. Go back, click on the backspace button, click on enter. Now see this. Okay, undefined. Okay, means, okay, just think like there is no errors in this particular statements. There is no syntactical errors. Without syntactical errors, this particular code got executed. Like that, it's a kind of confirmation. You can think like that for now. Okay, for example, now see, this is missing. Okay, now what? This is not a proper syntax. Now you can get, see, instead of undefined, you can get some error or not. Undefined means whatever the statements you executed, syntactically those are like valid. Like that you can think. Yes, my function ready. Once my function ready, what you have to do? Check my sum is what? My sum is what? My sum is what? F means what? It is a function or not? See, where amount equals to 100. Amount equals to 100. My amount is what? Amount is what? The value which represented by amount, that one only you can see here or not? Here my sum is what? The sum which represents what? One function. That function only you can see or not? F means function. Now see, fetch. Okay, did you create this fetch? Did you create it? Sum you created, amount you created, fetch you created or not created? Come on, fetch you created anywhere? Did you define this fetch anywhere? No. Now if I click on enter, see, it is not gives me any error. Okay, you not defined, at the same time you didn't get the error. That means what? That member defined by whom? You not defined, still you didn't get any error. In that case, that member defined by whom? JavaScript predefined member or not? Now this predefined member is which type? Come on, this predefined member. This is I created user defined member. This user defined member is which type? F, function type or not? Okay, this fetch, it is a predefined member. It is which type? It is which type? Function type or not? Okay, local storage. Local storage, you not defined. At the same time, you didn't get any error. You not defined, at the same time, you didn't get any error. You didn't get any error. Okay, in that case, tell me, this is defined by whom? JavaScript people, predefined. It is a variable or a function. It is a variable or a function. See, functions always represents with a F. Okay, now tell me, local storage is a predefined. It is a variable or a function? Local storage. Okay, whenever I access, okay, there is no F, nothing. It is like a variable or not. Got my point? Agreed with me? Okay, so this is the way you can create a function. Now my question is very simple. Yeah. So my question is, write a function to make this Gmail as a red color. Can you write a function to make this Gmail as a red color in JavaScript? Can you write a function to make this Gmail as a red color? So how we can write it? Very simple. First of all, write a function. Okay, how we can? Function change color. This is my function. Okay, function body is what? This particular Gmail I want in the red color. If you want to perform some operation, okay, in JavaScript, if you want to perform some operation on the element, okay, first of all, can I get the element? How we can get the element? Can I inspect it? This is the element. Can I get the selector for this? Okay, how we can get the selector? Copy selector. Once you copy the selector, okay, how we can? Document dot, which method is there? I already told. Query selector is the method. Okay, by using this query selector method, whatever the CSS selector you added, you can get that. Okay, you can add here. This is the selector to get the Gmail. By using this selector, once you get the element, for that element, what you want me to do? I want to apply some style. Which style? Color. Which color? Red color. Done. My function ready. Writing the function is nothing but just you written some piece of code, okay, represent some functionality. If you want to get the service, you have to call it. So how we can call this function? How we can call it? Now my Gmail turn to be red color or not? Now my Gmail turn to be like red color or not? Come on. Agree with me? Write a function to hide this Google. Write a function to hide this Google. Okay, inspect it. This is my image. Right click on this one. Okay, go to copy selector. Yes, go to console, clear it. Write the function. Function is a keyword. Hide, okay, Google logo, proper name you can give it. Open and close. I want that Google logo reference. How we can get it? Once you have the selector, document dot query selector. What is my selector? Can I paste the selector what I copied? Once you have the Google logo element reference, I want to apply one style. Okay, I want the display is like inline block, inline block, flux, grid, none. Yes. Now see, I written the code. Writing a function, there is no use, right? Okay, when I can get the service? By calling that function. Hide Google logo. Now see this, my logo gone. Yes or no? Okay, so can you do one thing from your side? Open your console. Okay, just create the variables with different data formats. Okay, number, string, boolean, object, as well as array. Write a function. Okay, and execute that function, your own functions. Find some predefined functions. Go to any website. Just write a function to do something, some operations on the element. Now directly don't do it. Write a function, do some operation. Like that, can you practice from your end? Like that, can you practice in your console? Okay, working people leave it who want to put some experience. Okay, freshers who want to put some experience. Those people, okay, day to day, whatever the assignments I'm going to give, you should have to practice. You have to do more practice. Okay, working people, you can drop. Okay. So anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions?
So can you guide us once again how to how to select the selector?
It's very simple. So image selector you want, for example. Okay. Now right click on the image, inspect it. This is one thing. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Inspect it. Now this is the code for this images. Yes or
Yeah.
no?
Yes.
Okay, right click on the image. Okay, that right click on the element, sorry, right click on the element. You have the copy option is there, right?
Yes.
Expanded, see this, copy element, copy outer HTML, copy selector is there. Copy
Okay.
that. Okay, now go to the console, just check it. This is the selector for that.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Okay, you can check everything, you can understand. Okay, this is an ID. Okay, greater than is nothing but direct children, div. Okay, direct children, div. Okay, whose children count is like one. Again, direct children. Like that, you can see, you can check, you can
Okay.
understand.
Okay. Okay. Got it, sir. Thank you.
Any questions, anyone? Newcomers, did you practice or not? Okay, HTML and CSS, did you complete? Newcomers, HTML and CSS, did you complete? If you not complete, I already shared that videos, right? Just complete it. If you have any questions, let me know. But who want to put some experience? Okay, you should, okay, you take the videos, okay, that is very, very important. You have to revise the sessions multiple times. That's the reason you take the videos, daily videos, you can take it. Okay, any questions, anyone? No? Okay then, thank you guys. Remaining things we'll see in tomorrow's class.